In Delaware County, 3 Sharon Hill police officers are now facing charges in connection to the shooting of a little girl, 8-year-old girl, Fanta Bility.
Fanta was shot and killed running from gunfire outside of an Academy Park high school football game back in August. It started with gunshots between 2 teens, but the DA says the responding gunfire by the 3 officers into a crowd was criminal. So joining us now, attorney and former SWAT officer Shaka Johnson. We would love to get first your thoughts on this, because at first we know that the teens had been charged with the murder. Now those charges have been dropped?
Good morning to you, Alex. And yes, District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer did withdraw the charges against defendants Strand and Ford, which I think is I don't even think I can overstate how big a deal that is. I think the arrest of these 2 young men initially was not met with the same it was met with a lot of criticism, lots of criticism. The community did not support the arrest of these 2 young men. And most importantly, neither did the parents, the family of Fanta Bility.
Okay, so do they have any charges going their way at all?
Sure. There are charges.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. And these murder charges of this innocent 8-year-old were withdrawn. But do not get that mistaken with the fact that they have no criminal culpability whatsoever. They do. I think the evidence shows that they were still out there conducting nefarious activity. They may have been shooting a block or so away from where these 3 officers were. The question of the day is, did these 3 officers who were assigned to this particular post to protect the people who were going to the sporting event, protect them from something, shooting into a crowd blindly, aimlessly, does that warrant, is that tantamount to criminal activity? And it is, and I think the family of Fanta Bility had been saying so since the very beginning.
And the interesting part is the DA said at one point they even were shooting in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, it was Keystone Coppers for just a moment. It was chaos, and with all due respect, I know, I hate the Monday morning quarterback because we have the benefit of hindsight, but they did nothing to aid in that particular effort as far as the original shooting that was taking place there at the venue.
Well, you might say, or a person might say, well, that's usually what happens. I mean, police officers were charged with the responsibility of arriving on a scene, trying to figure what happened, protect people, and catch the folks who need to be caught. Is this fair? Because, I mean, the FOP, they had a statement basically saying about the current state of policing, the fact that they're being charged with this. And I believe we have that, and that's going to be coming in just a little bit. It says, this is a sad day for our officers who face criminal charges for trying to do their jobs and keeping the community safe. What is your reaction to that?
My reaction is this: the officers have to do their jobs, but they have to do it in a safe manner. You can do something legal in a wanton, reckless manner, and that result in criminal charges. It's called voluntary manslaughter, right? That's exactly what it's called. You can't shoot aimlessly and blindly into a crowd of innocent patrons and say, I'm trying to protect people. Those two don't.
But if you were defending the officers, what would you say in court?
Yeah, well, start with an apology. Start there.
Yeah.
And that's where these officers, I think, need to begin. There's an atonement that needs to happen. And I think Sharon Hill, as a collective township, is recognizing that, which is why they immediately called in a special person to oversee these proceedings. And it seems like that community as a whole is trying to overhaul decades long of issues with their police department.
Do you think, because I know that it's going to be decided whether they should be terminated, their positions. Do you think that will be happening as well?
It seems so. It seems so. Just based on their conduct and the fact that they were, and the conduct, to be sure, I don't think is disputed. It's not disputed that these officers did exactly that, what they're charged with. Whether it's criminal will be found out in a court of law, but it's not disputed what their actions were. So I do think they'll be terminated.
Okay. Shaka, thanks.
You're very welcome, Mike. Good morning to you.
You got it.
Thank you, Shaka.